$871 million. That's what FIFA is distributing at the 2026 World Cup. Here's the strange part. The team that lifts the trophy won't take home most of that money. By the time the final whistle blows, hundreds of millions of dollars will have already left FIFA's account. And a lot of it will land with people and organizations that never win the World Cup at all. So the real story isn't who becomes champion. It's where the money actually travels. Every 4 years, billions of people watch this tournament. They remember the goals, the referee decisions, the team that lifts the trophy. What they don't see is the machine running underneath it. The 2026 World Cup is the biggest version of that machine yet. 48 teams, 104 matches, 3 host countries, more broadcast hours, more sponsors, more tickets than any World Cup in history. A bigger tournament doesn't just mean more football. It means more revenue flowing into one place before it flows back out. FIFA has committed a record $871 million for this cycle. Most headlines stopped right there. Record prize money. That headline hides the real question. Who actually gets paid? To answer that, you have to understand what FIFA really is. Most people picture FIFA as the company that runs the World Cup. That's only half true. Financially, FIFA behaves more like the operator of the world's biggest concert. It doesn't make money by performing. It makes money by selling the audience, broadcasting rights, sponsorships, tickets, licensing. The players put on the show. FIFA sells it. All of that money lands in FIFA's account first. Then it starts moving again. Most fans assume the first stop is the players. It isn't. When Argentina wins, FIFA doesn't wire money to Lionel Messi. It pays the Argentine Football Association. When England qualifies, the check goes to the English FA, not to Jude Bellingham. Think of it like a company sending a department's budget to its manager instead of paying every employee directly. The federation gets the money first. What happens after that? Bonuses, splits, contracts is entirely up to them. Before a single ball is kicked, every qualified federation also receives operational funding because sending an entire delegation across North America for a month is expensive on its own. Hotels, medical staff, security, logistics. Only after that does performance prize money kick in, climbing with every round survived, peaking with the champion's payout. So far, that sounds like a normal if opaque prize structure. Here's where it stops being normal. One of the biggest financial winners of every World Cup doesn't compete in it. Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, none of them can qualify for a World Cup. They're clubs, not countries. FIFA pays them anyway through something called the Club Benefits Program. Picture lending your company's best employee to a rival business for a month. He's still your employee. If he gets hurt or simply isn't available for work, you absorb that cost with zero benefit to your own business. FIFA recognized that clubs take exactly that hit every time they release a player to a national team. So instead of paying clubs for winning, it pays them for releasing players in the first place. FIFA has confirmed this program totals roughly $355 million tied to this World Cup cycle, including $100 million already paid out for players who featured in qualifiers alone, and reported payments running near $5,000 per player per day away with their country. The longer a player stays in the tournament, the more his club earns, whether that player scores the winning goal in the final or gets eliminated in the group stage. A club can collect a real check from the World Cup without kicking a single ball in it. And because the clubs supplying the most international players are, almost without exception, the wealthiest clubs in the world, this fund quietly reinforces exactly the financial hierarchy that already dominates club football every other week of the year. Now look at the other side of that same idea, the federations. Morocco's run to the semifinals in 2022 wasn't just a sporting story. It became a financial one. That run brought a wave of new sponsor interest, broadcast value, and commercial attention into Moroccan football at a moment when the country was already investing in youth development. Success created attention. Attention created revenue. Revenue created investment. Morocco didn't win the tournament. It still became one of the biggest long-term financial winners of that World Cup because millions of people watched them long after they'd stopped being favorites to lift the trophy. Put those two stories side by side and the pattern becomes obvious. The rich clubs got paid for exposure, not victory. Their players were simply seen on the biggest stage on earth. Morocco got funded for exposure, not victory. The world watched them, and that attention converted directly into money. Winning the trophy is still the headline, but it was never the actual mechanism paying out most of the $871 million, or the billion-plus FIFA spends around it. The real currency of the World Cup isn't goals. It's attention, and attention gets monetized whether or not you ever come close to the final. That reframes the whole tournament. The World Cup isn't a winner-takes-all event. It's a financial network, and the trophy is really just its most visible transaction. Money enters through billions of viewers. It spreads out to federations, to clubs that never played a match, to development programs shaping the next generation of players, reaching almost every corner of global football before the next cycle even begins. And maybe that's the real misconception people carry into every tournament. FIFA's business was never just organizing the World Cup. The World Cup is FIFA's business. Everything else, the development grants, the youth academies, the club payouts, only exists because 32 days every 4 years generate enough attention to fund all of it. So the next time a captain lifts that trophy, remember what's actually leaving the stadium. It isn't only gold. It's a financial current that's already been running for weeks, and it didn't wait for anyone to win. Do you think it's fair that clubs get paid for a tournament they never compete in? Or should that money go somewhere else entirely? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to the Football Ledger. Next time, we're following another football money mystery. Why one championship playoff match can be worth more than winning the Champions League.